also ask me. Okay. Right. Good morning. Right. Today I'm going to do it a part. Right. History of the footwear. It's a reading comprehension. Right. It's my part. Right. Before that, the last class I gave you a homework. Let's write a letter to Mudalihami congratulating him or his victory. Include the following. I explained you, right, about this fact. I think you have completed this task, right? Anyhow, I will give one of the model answer, right? You just for the model, not 100%. This is the answer. You check your answers with this one. Here, first, you have to put it number 15, College Lane, Cockville East, Cockville, right? Dear, right? Mudalihami, I put it the name change. Dear Kumar, right? Okay, doesn't matter. Dear Mudalihami, right? What do you want to write it here? Dear, you are going to write it. Dear Mudalihami, something. According to the question, you have to write it. I'm Saran. Do you know who am I? I studied with you at Hockville CC Primary School from grade 1 to grade 6. Why we are writing like this? According to the question, they guided, they ask you, first introduce yourself. Please, mute your microphones, please. Right, okay. I'm Saran. Do you know who am I? I studied with you at Cockville CC Primary School from grade 1 to grade 6. Because of my father's transfer, now I am studying at Bhavaniya Central College. Because where we are studying now, we are explaining that description of the writer. That is the first part question. Right? Last week, while I was reading the sports news in Udayan Daily newspaper, right, I found a news about your record-breaking achievement in 100 meters race at the provincial level meet. Have you understand that? Where you got the, how do you know the news? Right? How do you get it the news? So answer, while I was reading the sports news in Udayan newspaper, I found here, I was reading a sports news in the Udayan Daily newspaper, 2 sentences. I found a news about your record-breaking achievement in 100 meters race at the provincial meet. As soon I came to know about your winning championship trophy, I jumped to my feet with happiness. I was so happy. That's why I say like this. I was so happy. That's why I write it something different structure. I jumped to my feet with a happiness. I took no time to tell it to my parents and friends. Immediately I told. That's why I took no time. Some different structure I use it. Right? I immediately told this news to my parents because of the happiness. All were in all praised you. All of them appreciate you. Praise, appreciate you. It is not an easy task for a village student like you. Village student or country student, you can use it any other terms, right? You achieved at the provincial level meet. It was a wonderful achievement. By the way, I got your address from your class teacher. Here, very prominent, relative close. We are using the who, right? I got your address from your class teacher, who is the friend of mine, connecting 2 sentences with using who is a relative clause, right? This is the standard writing structure. I got your address. How did you, there's one of the question is, how did you get his address? So I write it. By the way means we are talking about his achievement. Now we are changing the topic. That is why we use it this by the way. by the way, I got your address, right, from your class teacher, who is a friend of my father. I wish you all success in national level meet in future also. Please convey regards. Sorry, please convey please convey my regards to your parents. What do you mean by please convey my regards to your parents? It's an informal letter. How do you finish it? Please convey my regards. நாங்க தமிழ்ல முடிக்க we have to use it. What is the term we are using? அப்பா அம்மாவை சுவாமி விசாரிச்சதாக்கு சொல்லவும். So that is the way we can't use it any other relevant. Ready-madely we have to write this sentence. Please convey my regards to your parents. Hoping to see you soon, my friend. Thank you. This is the one of the answer model. You have to prepare that. Is it okay, clear? Your essay, right? Your letter writing should be, it's an informal letter, but it's an informal letter. You can't start it this letter. Dear Mudalihami, I am fine, right? I am fine. I think you would be the same. Can you start it? No, that type of salutation is wrong because you are writing the first time to Mudalihami after grade 6. After a long time you are writing that. You can't say, I am fine, I think you would be the same, right? You don't have any communication earlier. So first you have to go and introduce yourself. The letter should be start like this. This type of start, similar. Don't think is it the only answer. There are different styles of starting are there, right? I didn't see your answers. Only I am talking about my idea. If you are starting is like this, similar to this is accepted. I am Saran. Do you know who am I? Or any other different style, but don't write it. Hello, how are you? I am fine. I think you would be the same. Right? I received your letter. Don't write like that. Don't copy that. You didn't receive any letter from him. Some of them, right? Memorize it and write it. Right? In this context, you have to write this type of salutation. Introduction. Is it okay? This is the answer. Now, today's part I am moving. The history of footwear. Now, once again, it's a reading comprehension. Quickly, we are going to move it. The topic. I told you, you have to read it quickly, right? In the textbook, right? Activity 11, read the passage and complete the passage, right? Now you are going to complete the passage, right? Now you are going to complete the passage. These are the particular words.
So copy it, sir?
No, don't write it. Just practice it. How your reading is. Just only quickly you have to tell the answers. Historically, shoes were worn primarily for
Protection.
Excellent.
Protection.
Good. Wear, wore, worn. Present form is wear. Here is a passive form. Present form is wear. Past tense, wore. Past participle, were worn. So here is, this is a passive form. Were worn is a passive form. So protection, answer is protection. Good. Second one, go through that quickly. According to archaeological evidence, experts believe shoes were
Invented.
So main verb.
Invented.
Invented. Excellent. So here is a helping verb. Next one is invented. About 40,000 years ago, right? The shoes, the experts believe the shoes were invented about 40,000 years ago. This is a passage taken from your textbook, right? However, okay, please switch off your microphones, right? However, it was not until same time later that footwear was worn by people dash.
Frequently.
Yeah, worn by, excellently, verb, worn is a verb by the people. What type of adverb? frequently, right? On and off. Frequently means frequently. It is hard to imagine a time before the invention of shoes, right? It is hard to imagine time before the invention of shoe. It is very difficult how the people led the life. Yet, what started as a venture,
Practical.
Practical.
yeah, it's a practical venture.
Practical.
Yeah, any other? Right, you don't know, right? We put it then we say practical venture grew into a varied booming industry. Venture, practical venture, right? Started as a practical venture. They had to do it as a practice. Now it grew, past tense, grew into varied booming industry, big industry. Though all shoes share basic,
Characteristics.
yeah, excellent characteristic, their coloring, materials, and design have transformed drastically over thousands of years. Okay, full stop. The earliest shoes were made, passive form, past tense, passive form. Earliest shoes were made of
Leather.
Soft leather.
soft leather. Excellent. Soft leather. Soft leather. Full stop. Soft leather. They resemble in sandals or moccasins. In the early 19th
Century.
early 19th century, CEN, century, women's and men's shoes finally began to differ.
Differ.
Verb to infinitive form. Next. Already I explained you every reading part I'm doing like this. This is called, what type of exam they are called it? Closed test. What is that? This is called, right? From grade 9 to whatever exam you see, this is one of the compulsory question. Even GC O level exam, even advanced level also, you have an English exam, you have to like that. In your provincial paper also, like this question, right? Okay. During this era, shoes were made, meaning that they were
Straight.
made straight, right? Made straight, isn't made straight, comma, see, different meaning. Here the shoes were made straight, the punctuation mark, they use it, comma. So this is another idea. Straight, you have to stop it, right? And extract the meaning, then go through that. During this era, shoes were made straight. Don't read it straight meaning. No. Their shoes were made straight, comma mean temporary stop. Straight, meaning that there was no differentiation between left and right shoes. Is it okay, clear? Last one. As a 20th century, what is that?
Soft leather.
No.
Thank you, sir.
Approached.
Yeah. Answer. Here I didn't give it. Excellent. That's why whether you have read it or not, I think you have keep your textbook. I want to check it. Excellent. Good. Some of you have your textbook. That's why I want to check it. I didn't put it. Right? I want to check it. Right. Good. Excellent. As the 20th century approach, right? Answer is approach. The shoemakers improve the comfort by making foot-specific shoe. This is the, actually this is the, what is this? Biography, right? How the biography means You know, right? The history, how the biography of a person, when a biography of a person mean when he was born, right? Where did he get your primary education? Who are the parents? That right is called biography. Like that, this is a biography of the footwear, right? So that's why it's called history of the footwear, right? Then the paragraph is going like this. You have to go and read it. These are the very prominent, I touch it, the main idea, this is a theme. Now there's an activity, quickly, just, what I'm going to do, about 40,000 ago, what happened? Footwear was invented, right? What happened? In the 19th century, after the second paragraph, you have to read it and write one or two sentences, you have to write it. Then what happened in the 20th century? The early 70s, what happened? Right? According to that passage, you have to write a summary. That's why they ask you, is one of the reading skill. Okay? Do it in your exercise book. This activity, what I'm going to do, you have to do it in your exercise book. This is a textbook activity. Now, quickly, right? Going to the passive voice. I'm going to talk about the passive voice, right? Today my topic is passive voice. What do you mean by passive voice? Passive voice means, see, normally when we write the sentence, see, pardon? Yeah, actually in Tamil like that, very prominent. Passive voice, today the passive voice I'm going to talk about in the past tense. Right, quickly, just, right, because of the lack of time. Only one portion I started, right? Active sentences in the simple past tense have the following structure, right? This is a text taken from your textbook. Normally, right? My mother made this cake. Here, see it? In this sentence, my mother is a, what is this? Subject. That is why I say subject. Made is a verb. What is the tense? Past tense. What is the present form of the make? Made is make. Right? This is a verb. Right? Past tense. Verb form.
So screen share varela.
Yes, a minute.
Sir. Varela.
Right. Okay? Past tense. This one, what is this? Object. You know what is object? My mother made this cake is a, what is it? A subject. The sentence formation is SVO. Subject, verb, object. Right? Passive mean here we give my mother a person. So we call it doer of action. She is doing the action. Who is doing the action come as a subject that is called active voice. Have you understand that? The person who is doing the action or ஆள்ல தொடங்கும் it's called animate. உயிர் உள்ளதுல ஒரு வசனம் தொடங்குமா இருந்தா அநேகமா exceptions are there, one or two exceptions there, right? That is called active sentence. This is called active voice. My mother made this cake. So it's called active voice. Doer of action. Doer is mother. In the case, we do not need the doer. We need the action is important. எங்களை செய்தவர் முக்கியமில்லை, யார் செய்தாலும் செய்யட்டும், எங்களுக்கு அந்த action தான் முக்கியமா இருந்தா, that is called passive voice. For example, we take these inanimate things, objects is an inanimate thing. You see, made this cake. This come under the subject. This cake, past tense, so is a singular, was made by my mother. See, here we give more prominent importance to the mother. Mother made this cake, so we give more importance to the mother. In the second sentence, so it is called doer of action. Doer of action, we give it more importance. Here, this cake was made by my mother. Here, we give more prominent action. If you don't write this one, answer is correct. Doesn't matter. By my mother is not given important. Have you understand that? Subject, right? If a start with a particular person, doer of action, that's come under the active. If it is action occurred first, we call it passive. Have you understand that? Right. See it? Passive sentence in the simple past tense have the following structure. Subject, verse, verb, past participle of the verb by doer of action. This cake was made my mother. Sometimes the doer. Doer means who is doing the action. Doer of the action is not mentioned in the passive form. Not necessary. Sometimes they didn't mention in the passive. The sentence when the doer is either not no or not essential in the sentence to be meaningful. Right? Whether it is, you can use it or not. But this is the meaning. Cake was made. Have you understand that? This road was repaired last month here. Not by RDA, by the government. Not necessary. The road was repaired. That is why doer is in the passive form. Doer is not necessary. That is why they give this example. This road was repaired. Right. Now, this is the grammar part. What is this? The grammatical part. Right. Now, we are going to use it. Before we are going to use it, this part, this grammar active passive, in the writing skill. I want to ask, you have already studied, or some of you already know, some of you don't know. Doesn't matter whether you or not. But according to your knowledge, I ask you one question. In the writing skill, can you hear me? Can you follow me? Right? Is it clear? In my part, I ask you, in the writing skill, where, at which situation, or where we use passive form. Where we use it, the passive form. Right? Where we use, or at which situation we are using passive form. Can you understand the question? Apa clear ka? Hello? Apa கேக்குதா? Can you hear me? ஒரு ஆன்சர் பண்ணுங்க. Hello? Hello? Apa? Kata apa? verb. Hello, Ben, can you hear me? Sorry. Okay, Ben, can you hear me? Yeah? Yeah?
Sir,
Oh, can you hear me?
sir,
Yeah? Okay, sorry for the interruption.
Okay.
Okay, please.
live പോകുന്നു.
Okay, I continue that. Just a minute, I will continue. Okay. Next one. Put Right, okay, I learned. Right, passive voice. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right, I will
Yes.
wind up. Right?
Yes, sir.
Now, I will continue once again, repeat this. In the passive voice, see, there are, in English sentence structure, there are two types of structure. One is active voice. Second one is passive. Active means, what do you mean by active? The doer of action, right, give more prominent, that is called active sentence. So here, my mother made this cake. So mother is the doer of action, that is why we give it important, I tell it. My mother come under the subject, right? Made, the present form, make, past tense, verb. This cake is an object. So, if we make it this one into passive, how to change it? This cake, passive form, made, past tense, singular. So, was made by my mother. This is the answer, see it? Here, by mother, if you don't write this one, answer is correct. Here, in the this is called passive sentence. In the passive sentence, they give more prominent to the action. Here, doer. More important, give more doer of action. Who is doing the action, give more important. Here, we are giving more important to the action. This cake was made. Here, by mother, if you don't write it, answer is also correct. That is why they are telling in your textbook, they explain that doer of action is not mentioned in the passive sentence. When the doer is either not no or not essential for the sentence to be meaningful. This road was repaired last month. Here, they didn't put by the government or by the RDA, by the government. Here, they didn't put it. Why? This is correct. Right? This is the part, is a grammar active voice, passive voice, is testing in the, right? Grammar part, I explained you. Only past tense, in your, according to the syllabus, right? This is the part. Now, I'm going to ask you one question. Where we can use the passive voice in the writing skill. Where can we use the passive voice in the writing skill? Anyone? Any other idea?
On papers, newspapers.
Yeah, in some of the newspaper heading, newspapers, the newses are mostly reported in passive form. That is why I tell you, you started to read. If you read, you can automatically get grammar knowledge also. That is why reading is very prominent. Reading makes the man perfect. Right, one is in the news item. Anything? Any other context? Which context we are using?
essays,
Yeah? Essays, no. So essay is, all the essays you are writing only in the passive form, no. Mostly we are using very formal writings. Formal mean official writings, the formal letters, you better, right? Formal letters, formal official purpose, mostly we use it passive form. See, the notice writing I told you in the first class, do you remember the online class I told you? The meeting will be held. What is the tense? Future passive form. So, right? The formal writings we are using, what is the tense? Passive forms. Formal writing. First news reporting, formal writing, any other things, where we use it? Where? Other than this, some advertisements, right? Mostly the unknown person, we don't know, right? Who is repaired the road. We don't know, particularly we don't know. So we can write it in the passive form. This road was repaired last month. Simply we say, we don't know who is doing that. Exactly, we don't know. So in this context, we have to use it, the passive form, right? Before I am teaching you how to use in the writing skill, you are going to do, what are you going to do? This activity. Change these activities into passive form. Quickly do it. This is your textbook activity, right? Transform the following into the passive form. You are going to change into passive form, right? Okay, you do it as a homework, right? This is a textbook. First one, I help you, I guide you how to do it. Rahim wrote a letter yesterday, right? We are going to change into passive form. How to change?
Her letter
Rahim
was
Yeah, excellent. A letter, while you are
was
writing, first letter should be capital. A letter,
was
right?
was
Ah,
in
was,
was
written by
letter was,
was
Written.
written,
Written.
right, wrote,
written
third
written
form. What is the format? Written, was
Written.
written.
written
Yeah, excellent.
by
Written
Rahim.
by,
yesterday.
by Rahim yesterday. By Rahim yesterday. Right? The dog beat the man.
The man was bitten
The
by the dog.
man,
The man
right? There is object.
was
Was,
eaten by the dog.
was
was
beaten
beaten
by
by
the
the
dog.
by
Next one.
the
How to change it?
the thieves
The thief
The
The
was
thieves,
the
arrested
thieves
by the police.
arrested
please tell it once
by
again.
the
The
police.
thieves was over.
by the police.
Were
But
The thieves
but
were arrested by
Arrested
the
by the
police.
police.
Right? The thieves were arrested by the police. Next one. Did
the
he
window
paint the window?
Did
How did you change?
the
Anyone?
did the window
First one,
painted
the
by
this
him.
is
window
a yes or no question, okay?
did the window
Here, this is the
Painted by him.
subject. Ah,
Did the window
was
painted
the
by him?
window
no. Answer, see?
did the window
No. Did the window
was
paint?
the
No. Change into passive. Was. If it's a passive form, no use of did. It's an active form, verb is the helping verb is the did. Right? If it change into passive form, it should be in the past form. We are talking about was a verb.
was the
So was,
Was the window painted by
the
the
him?
subject
window
here
window
come under the
was
window.
the
the
window painted
window
Was the window
window
uh,
he
painted by
painted?
Painted by
by
Otherwise,
him.
answer is wrong. painted by him? Or was the
By
window, even you can stop it, answer is correct. Was the window painted? Right? We don't know.
By him.
By him, right? Doer of action is not here, not important, right? So you can write it, was the window painted? Answer is correct. Next one, they did not borrow the books. How to
The
change
books wasn't borrowed by
Once
them.
again, the books, not wasn't. The books,
Were. Weren't.
these are the common mistakes. Mostly you make it. The books plural,
Weren't.
right? Weren't, were not,
Borrowed
weren't or were not.
Borrowed
Borrowed
by them.
by them.
borrow
by them.
So
borrowed
see,
by
they
them.
change into how?
Them.
Them. Right? By possess.
Them.
Right? By them. It change into them. Did Joha invite you to the party? Anyone?
Was
You invited by Joha to the party.
Yeah. The answer,
Was the
not
party
was.
invited?
What is the subject here? We are Joha is the subject in the active question. Now, in the passive question,
Screen sharing of IT, sir. Screen sharing.
okay, is it clear now? Now, what is the answer?
Screen sharing of IT, sir.
இப்போ தெரியுதா? Can you see?
No, sir. No.
தெரியல சார்
No, sir.
Okay. Did Joha invite you? Right. Please. Right, microphone.
Sir, screen தெரியல sir.
Right. Just a minute. I'll wind up. Just a minute. I just have only one question. I will finish it and I will wind up. Right? Okay, clear. I will just make it. Right. Okay, last one. I do it.
Okay,
Did
sir.
Joha invite you to the party? How? Please switch off your microphone. How you are going to change into passive? You, what is the verb you are going to use? Also
Were you?
Were, excellent. Were you invited
In
to the party?
the
By yoga to the party.
Were you invited to the party? Somebody helped me when I fell down. Here, what is that object?
I yoga.
What?
I yoga.
No. Me change into I
was.
yeah, excellent.
Was
was helped
By
I
someone
was-
when I fell down.
by somebody when I fell down.
Yeah, I was helped by somebody when I fell down. Oh, I helped, so I was helped, right, when I fell down. You can write it in both ways. I was helped by somebody, right, when I fell down. Or you can put it this one without writing somebody, you can complete the sentence. That is also doer of action is not prominent. Right. Next one. The teacher corrected the books. The books, this is a subject, easiest thing. Plural, that's
Were
why
corrected by the
books
teacher.
were corrected by the teacher.
Were corrected.
By the teacher. Next one. Inura found a purse in the library. What is the object here? What is the in
Purse.
this
A
sentence?
purse.
Object is a purse.
Purse.
A purse was found in the library by
By
Inura.
Inura.
Right? The crops, answer, the crops were destroyed by the wild elephant yesterday. Is it okay? What I'm going to do now, I'm going to wind up. I'm going to do it, right? It's a time. Because of the power cut, I have done the lesson for half an hour anyhow, right? You are going to do it, this activity in your exercise book. Next class, I will do it. Other activities, how we are going to use this grammar aspect in the writing skill and different activities I'm going to do it, right? Please get familiar with the passive past form, right? You have to go through that. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, recording stop பண்ணீங்க.
Bye.